Hello, faggot lovers. Welcome to Pride Month here at Minions of the Zoo. I'm Terry. This is Jen.
Hi, guys.
And let's make sure I've muted this. Yep. Um, the topics this week are, as you can see, BAM is bricks and minifigs, which JB has mentioned in chat. Reckless Ben set out to recover some stolen Legos and uncovered the Mormon mafia, which is
Yeah.
insane and hilarious and horrifying all at the same time. Next, we have Henry Nowak. They released the Bodycam footage. The guy who killed him got 21 years, I believe, minimum sentence in prison. So, decent result, but obviously, people are still incredibly angry at the way the police handled the situation. And I've seen very, very angry people on Twitter, and I'm happy to see it. We need to see more of it.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, they need to set their standards. If they're going to be like, okay, Derek Chauvinoff needs to go to jail because of neglect to a prisoner, because
Yeah.
of not showing enough aid or the right kind of aid or being too rough with a prisoner,
Yes.
then all the cops involved with that kid need the same justice because
Oh
they're the
yeah,
reason he died.
for
Like,
sure.
they're not the only reason, obviously. It's not on their head that he was stabbed, but
No,
and
but
no, they're not doctors. But
just
the
just
idea that they didn't
just
know.
quickly, I'll cover the last topic and then we'll get back to it.
Mhm,
The last topic is AsmonGay, which is because it's Pride Month. I figure we throw something gay in the title.
that's
AsmonGold
fine.
said in a tweet that men are more attractive than women because women need makeup and men don't. Um, he's obviously joking, but people kind of took that and ran with it, and
Yeah.
that was quite amusing. But back to the Henry Novak thing. Yes, I think the police coming out and saying, "Well, he would have died anyway," is utterly disgusting. That should not be their statement. We didn't kill him; he would have died anyway. Well, you could have at least tried to save him
I
instead
mean,
of handcuffing him.
it's legitimately the same thing that people were saying about George Floyd. I'm sorry. People have been saying for years if they'd left him in the truck or the car, he
Yeah,
still would have died because of the fentanyl.
yes, he
Like,
would.
when you watch the whole clip, he is complaining about breathing the entire time. He's doing it in the
Yeah.
car, he's doing it when they walk it around. Maybe the kneeling wasn't the best choice, but that's what they're trained to do, and he was still
Well,
struggling. You
my
know,
understanding of the George Floyd thing is that the knee on wasn't like cutting off circulation at all. I think the autopsy said there was like no damage from Derek Chauvin's knee whatsoever. It
yeah.
was like 100% fentanyl overdose. The knee was just restraining him so he couldn't escape.
I don't think that that would have caused it, no. I don't know if leaning him over onto his front would have been a good idea. I don't know. I'm not a medical person
Yeah.
either.
Well,
That's
I'm
where
I'm
I'm at.
only
Like, I don't know if
I'm only going off what I've heard
yeah.
the doctors have said. Obviously, if the doctors are wrong, then my opinion will change. But my understanding is that there was absolutely nothing that Derek Chauvin did that exacerbated George Floyd's death. It was
Yep.
100% fentanyl overdose. It was just he happened to be being restrained by police at the time it occurred. Unlike Henry Nowak, who was not overdosing on drugs, he, from the sounds of it, wasn't even racist. Not that being racist would justify murdering him, but he did absolutely nothing wrong and got stabbed. And then the cop said, "Fuck you, you're white. We're gonna laugh at you while you die." And people are a little upset about it.
And then it's the stuff afterwards. Like they then take the murderer back to the police station. They don't handcuff him a single time, and they
Hmm.
feed the motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's I think the way the two were treated is highlighting the two-tier justice system in England, where like the white kid arrested for no reason, left to bleed out, dragged across the gravel, insulted and mocked. The murderer, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Brown person. Would you like some food?" Yeah, people are very, very angry and very, very justified in being angry. Um, I did like that the police are saying that they're copying a lot of abuse, and all of the people are saying, "No, I don't think you are, mate."
Basically, they deserve
Uh,
it.
oh, more than that. They deserve to be in prison at minimum. I think negligent homicide is definitely a legitimate charge against these police officers. I think they need to see the inside of a prison cell, but I don't think they're going to.
Well, based off of their own rules and stuff, they were racist too, because they just assumed that because he was a white kid that it was true. Like,
well, here's the thing: by England standards, you can't be racist to white people. You can't be sexist to men. The usual social justice bullshit. So if you tell them that they were racist against a white person, they say you can't. That's not a thing. That doesn't exist.
and I think that's what's going to change in England. I honestly do. I think they're going to be like, okay, well then you can't be a cop, and there's a good chance that national citizen or not, if you're behaving like that to other citizens, you're not going to be welcome in a lot of neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Flat out.
I mean, I think the whole family should be deported, considering that they helped him cover up the crime.
Yeah, if not jailed and deported.
Yeah, I think absolutely get them the fuck out of England. They don't have any right to be there. Because, like, obviously, if it was just Vikram who did it, then that'd be one thing. But everyone in the family helped cover up the crime, so get them the fuck out. I think send them back to India or whatever country it is that they come from. I'm thinking it's India.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I've got no sympathy whatsoever for the Digba family. I think fuck right off and keep on fucking off.
It's how they're trying to get at the UK too, because it's not that historically they don't have decent enough relations with Sikh people. They do. What they don't have is a comfort with people coming in who are basically to their face declaring that they hate them. Like they're really tired of upholding it, and they're really tired of the two-tier justice system for those kind of people.
Yeah.
They like everybody else, we have decent relations with people that were normal growing up.
Yeah, but like the fact that a UK citizen can't hold a potato peeler without getting arrested, but an Indian can wield an 8-inch knife. I mean, people notice these things. That it's very hard to deny that there's a double standard. And it's like all of the people saying, "I've just invented a new religion. It's called gunism. I have to carry a gun with me at all times by my religion." It's like,
and I do blame that on people like Starmer, because he's all like, fight the racism and stuff. Well, you having a two-tiered system is why people will become that way.
Yes.
From the get-go, if you guys had actually dealt with the problems that you had from the get-go between the pedos and the groomers and the murderers and the people like stealing, the robberies, that shit, if you just dealt with it, people would have a lot less problems, because then they would know where they're at. They would have their rules that they have to abide by.
Yes, just say hello to Six in chat. I just saw him pop in. Yeah, so I think gunism needs to take off in England. I think that would be a wonderful thing. But no, the whole thing is a disgrace. And yeah, I think Keir Starmer is like the least popular prime minister that England has had in like living memory. Like, I don't think there's anyone alive who's aware of a less popular prime minister than Keir Starmer. That's how bad he is. No one likes this guy. I don't think his own party even likes him.
I mean, we're in the same boat, Terry. It's why I think there's so much camaraderie between our three countries right now, is because look, we're in the same boat again.
Yeah, everyone in Australia hates Anthony Albanese too. I think he might also be the least popular Australian prime minister in living memory. I don't know who'd be worse than Albanese. So yeah, I think all three of us have incredibly unpopular. Oh, here we go. We have a special guest. Hello, Mr. Hammer.
Where in the world is our Hammer from, San Diego? Even though you're not from San Diego. Hi, Hammer.
Hello. It's kind of funny to have been doing the show for so long, even though I'm not 100% yet, to be considered a guest.
No. I'm saying a special guest in the sense that it's a special occasion that you're here because you've been unable to join the show for such a long time.
Yeah, I know. I miss being on the show. I miss chatting with you guys and saying hello to everybody in chat.
And
everyone missed you. They thought that we were like hiding you or something in a basement.
There were very frequent queries as to when you would be returning. So
yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer. I'm still kind of recovering, but maybe in a couple of weeks. So
well, there you go. That sounds good to me.
So yeah, but I'm in good spirits. I am getting there, and I don't think it's gonna be long. So
well, that's good.
Get to hear the old music we used to do and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't even know where it is anymore.
Yeah, you've got plenty of time to find it. Don't worry. You don't have to do that now. But no, I think everyone is very eagerly awaiting your return to the stream. As yes, such an extended absence, makes the heart grow fonder, as they say.
Yeah, well, I missed everybody in chat. I'm still talking to people on Twitter and stuff like that. Blue Ice Cream, GBO.
I've seen you tweeting a fair bit, which I took as a sign that things were going well.
Yeah, things are going pretty well. It's always an issue. It's going to take time. You just just have to put in the effort.
Yep. So, have you any thoughts to share on this Henry Nowak situation?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
No,
what's that?
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Okay. No, basically, there was a case in England where this 18-year-old kid was stabbed by a Sikh, and when the police arrived, they arrested they put the kid in handcuffs who was bleeding out on the ground because the Sikh had accused him of racism, and this is a far more severe crime than murder. So yeah, they handcuffed the kid. They dragged him across the gravel. He said, "I've been stabbed." They said, "I don't think you have, mate." They were very dismissive of him.
He said like 9 times that he couldn't breathe and told them like 4 times that he'd been stabbed. And they're like, "We don't think you have, mate." Yes. But he was stabbed in the face. He was stabbed in the arms. He was stabbed in the leg. He was stabbed in the chest twice.
So it's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so the Bodycam footage has come out, which shows just how callous the police officers were, and how accommodating they were to the murderer. Like they even took him out to dinner, from what I've heard.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, the whole thing is a complete shit show, and everyone in England and like on Twitter is very, very angry, and very justifiably so.
Well, my first thought would be to take these officers back behind the barn and fill them with lettucillin.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen people suggesting that prison is not enough. There are people who think that some sort of capital punishment for what they did to Henry is. I think prison would be sufficient, because I don't know what the capital punishment laws in England are. I don't know if it's worth pursuing that, but I think put him in prison for longer than, because the murderer got 21 years. So put the police officers in prison for just as long, I say.
Did this kid survive?
No, he died. He died in front of them.
Shit.
Like they tied it, like they handcuffed his hands, and you could see how white his hands are. And in the time that they were mocking him, he died.
Yes. That he died. Basically, he was dead, but before they even while they were reading him his rights, he died in the middle of that.
It's also like the way that they leaned him down.
Yeah.
It was basically all that they could do to help him bleed out more with how they went about it.
Yeah.
But it was the callousness, and then also the way that the whole department hid it.
Yeah, that made it a lot worse.
Between the media in the UK hiding it, and then their whole department just hiding for it. I'm not just about. Yes, I want time for the cops, but I actually think they need to dissolve that department. And they need to start from scratch, because their DEI shit has created crazy cops. They're not biased anymore.
They are biased
the other way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
I think
Tyrion Chat says 25 years is a life sentence. He actually got it reduced to 21 as the minimum sentence.
I think in this situation, a little authoritarianism is a good idea.
Oh,
you have to set an example.
Absolutely.
You literally have to take them out behind the bar, and 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. That way, the next person who thinks they're going to act like this knows what's going to happen to them.
Oh, for sure. No, I've got absolutely no problem with strict punishments for behavior like this.
It's why I think so many of us are being taken advantage of. It's what I was I was saying this in chats the other day with English folks, that in general they really are nice people, but people will take advantage of you because of that, and that's what they're doing. They're happy to take advantage of you because you're rolling over while they're doing it.
Yeah.
And these people come from countries where actually their justice system is fierce. Like very fierce. Like in India, I remember a story where it was an eye for a murder. So like they don't do that in England. No, I don't think somebody from Henry's family wants to stab the guy. But the fact that our justice system is a slap on the wrist, and it has been for such a long time, between the judges needing some time, because this guy himself was a repeat offender. He was on their register as being aggressive.
Well, this all comes back to disarming the populace.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they take your Second Amendment rights, which neither of you guys actually have, but as soon as they disarm you, like they're doing in Canada and they've done in Australia, this is the next step, or a couple of steps down. So,
part of the issue was because the guy is a Sikh, he was allowed to carry an 8-inch blade, whereas a regular UK citizen isn't allowed to carry a knife at all.
Wow.
And so that double standard is also like getting people very angry. And I think Keir Starmer has come out and said, we're not going to ban the Sikhs from carrying blades. It's like, okay, I mean, if you want your head on a spike, then keep going the way you're going.
Well, the guy who perpetrated the crime should be put to death as soon as possible.
He won't be. He's got 21 years in prison.
The officers it's because he's in prison doesn't mean he's safe.
No. But what I'm saying is he won't be executed by the state. There's no death penalty.
No. And then the officers should suffer the same fate. This is beyond unacceptable. This is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even have a word for it. It's beyond ridiculous. It's beyond anything I can come up with to describe how horrifying this behavior is. And they need to be held responsible. That way,
absolutely.
The next time something like this happens, the cops are going to do the right thing instead of the wrong thing.
And from what I heard, one of the police officers has resigned.
Mm-hmm. That's not enough. They're like,
that's nowhere near enough. I don't want you to resign. I want you to go to jail or prison.
It's like, I appreciate that after like almost 7-8 months that you've now decided to do something about how shit of a cop you were, but no.
Yeah. And
it wouldn't stand in the U.S., I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Six is saying they don't need to ban the ceremonial knives. They need to unban knives from the rest of the population. I think
you don't ban guns from the rest of the population.
I think that would be a better solution, but I think England would be content with just put the same laws for everyone. It's the double standard that is causing the sort of the chaos.
it's one of those things I was saying. Like when I mean that a lot of people in England did grow up with people from that community, they did.
Yeah.
You know, so when you go to school with people, you know that most of them are normal.
Yeah.
But it's like the West has become the haven ground for everybody's bad people, and that's the problem. Like they are actually happy in India to empty out their prisons and send them west.
Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be?
Right? So
we're dumb enough to keep taking them.
And there's this idea that we can't tell the difference. And I'm like, that's part of the reason people are so mad, is because when you're kind and you know the people that you've loved your whole life, and now all of a sudden you're supposed to tolerate bad people because they're similar in tone. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, the outrage you feel is not going to go and punish. It's not going to be punished the way it would be punished here. I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm not bragging, but I'm just saying that the United States would never stand for this. Never. That guy would show up in jail or show up on the streets or whatever, get out for one reason or another, and some guy would blow his brains out. It's just going to happen. I mean, you look at the healthcare guy, Mangione, whatever. You know,
that was the guy. That was the murderer. Was Luigi Mangione?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But if you look at the person who killed Charlie Kirk, we have a lot of assassins here. Yeah. And if someone feels like they're done wrong, you're dead, man. You're not going to get away from it. True. Someone could easily hire somebody in the prison who's already got a life sentence or something close to it. To wipe this guy out. So.
No, I agree that just because he's in prison doesn't mean he's safe. I was just saying there will be no state execution.
He's probably going to have a bit of a hard time anyway, because there's a picture cycling of him being in Sikh gear where it kind of looks like he's just wearing a dress.
Oh, dear.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he might have that kind of a problem in prison for a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Not saying that to be mean. I'm just saying he was the one in, and I know it's Sikh wear. I'm not making fun. Like,
I'll make fun. I will.
You know, like the Scots have kilts and stuff, but but you want once you're in prison, it's still a skirt, man.
Oh, for sure, yeah. They're not going to see the nuance. It's yes. The other subject, I don't know if Hammer heard about the whole Lego catastrophe with Reckless Ben. Okay, so. This is an insane saga. So Reckless Ben is a YouTuber, and this guy approached him because Bricks and Minifigs had stolen $200,000 worth of Lego from his father. And so in pursuing the Bricks and Minifigs, he basically uncovered the corrupt police department of Utah. And so it's gone from Bricks and Minifigs give the Legos back to everyone in this particular police department needs to be arrested for abusing the law. Like
they literally have a clip of one of the cops being like, so are we getting him for something real, or are we just getting him for being annoying?
Yeah. Like, so basically the whole Lego thing happens, and then they keep ping-ponging him between the franchise owner and corporate. And then when he tries to sue corporate, that's when they suddenly start having the police just find reasons to arrest and harass Ben. So, like, he's driving, and they say, he didn't stop at the stop sign. Like, he did stop at the stop sign, but they don't care. There's like, we've now got quote-unquote probable cause. Let's pull him over and search his car for heroin. And it's like, that's the level of insanity. So yeah, they were really gunning for this guy. They don't like that he exposed their corruption.
It's one of those things where it's ridiculous to watch because it is about Lego. But when you watch it, it is very serious. Like, what they're actually doing is like, so that kid is getting a lot of offers from some really big lawyers, and he deserves it because those guys are like nuts.
because the first video that Ben made was actually hilarious because he was coming up with all these antics to try and provoke Brits and minifigs. But then the second video is not funny. It's actually quite serious when he's documenting the police harassment. And apparently in part 3, which is only on his Patreon, so I haven't seen it, part 2 was when they try and get him on misdemeanors. Apparently they step it up to felonies in part 3. So I'm looking forward to him releasing that on YouTube because this has been just insane from start to finish.
Wow. I have been completely out of the news.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I have no idea what's going on.
But I actually thought it was quite interesting the way that they stole the Lego, which is the guy did, I think it's called a consignment, where he still owns the Lego, but they're kept in the store. And so like the store will sell them and take a percentage of the profits and pass the rest to the owner.
Mm-hmm.
But then corporate decided to kick out the franchise owner, take over the business themselves, and claim they had no knowledge of the consignment and just claimed the Lego for themselves.
Mm.
And that's what started the whole thing. That's what got Reckless Ben involved, and that's what led down the rabbit hole to uncovering what has been nicknamed the Mormon mafia.
Wow.
And Six in chat is saying that there's been a leak on the police's Google document of some unredacted footage that looks very bad for the police. Oh yeah, everything looks very bad for the police. They blatantly lied in press statements, like in press releases to the public. And Ben himself has just like done a reply video on YouTube saying, well, this is wrong. And like he's got all the proof to back his side of the story up. And it's like, you lied about this, you lied about this, you lied about this.
Yeah, they're full on corrupt, and I'm okay with them being investigated by other cops because fuck you.
Well, I mean, I've even seen people tagging the FBI saying like someone higher up on the authority chain needs to look into this because this is unspeakably corrupt. We need to crack down on this kind of bullshit because Ben did nothing. Well, I don't because he's actually being sued for harassment, which is like
he's harassment being harassed, but okay.
Yeah, the way that Ben was harassing and stalking these people was trying to serve the papers to sue them, and they kept calling the police on him every time he tried to serve papers. That was the harassment and stalking that they're suing him for.
You need to get a lawyer to do it instead.
Mm-hmm. He did say that he's had a couple of really big offers. So
yeah,
I imagine for him it's probably crowdfunding and getting funding for it.
I don't think he's even going to need the money to. Like, there would be so many lawyers who would be very eager to work for free on such a high-profile case.
I know.
I've always been a proponent of don't argue with the cops, just do what they say and then take them to court.
Mm-hmm.
But you start seeing a lot of corruption and abuse where they do things that could potentially cost your life. And if you just agree and go along with it, you're a dead man.
Yeah.
So I've been, battling with that, that perspective. So.
Well, I think just all you've got to do is say, where it's safe to do so, comply with the police and sue them after. If it's obviously, if it's like what happened to Ben, where they burst into his Airbnb and point rifles at him.
Yeah, don't make any sudden moves.
Yeah, exactly.
It actually reminds me of probably one of the worst stories I saw last week, and it's actually a really old story. So this was a ferry in South Korea where their kids tend to take high school trips. And the ferry that they went on, there's 300 kids on this ferry, and it's kind of a dual boat. Like it's both passenger and it holds cargo, so it has cars and things like that on it too. And the ferry was overloaded on a day that was too windy, and it capsized, like it flipped over.
Right.
And the captain of the boat just basically told all the personnel that it was fine and just to leave a track going so that the kids would stay where they were in their apartments, because he thought, well, if they went into the ocean, they would just be swept out everywhere. Well, the boat sank. And so the kids stayed in there when they really should have left to go to the front, like to try to get to one of the top windows where people could get them out, because that's where they were told that's where they wanted them to go. But all the kids were in the boat while it was sinking, and he misled the port. So the port took too long to get to them, and over 200 kids died because they were obedient. Because they were obedient. Because they did as they told. They thought, oh, the adults are going to come get us. They have this track going on over and over again. The few people on board that were trying to help the kids, they went with them because they were doing as they were told. And it's like sometimes the authorities are wrong, and there has to be some wiggle room for this kind of thing. There has to be
some way to hold them accountable for when they're wrong. And it's kind of a shame that the Mormon mafia thing overshadowed Ben's first video, because his first video was very funny, and like the antics he got up to trying to provoke bricks and minifigs was hilarious. It's just that it all happened so fast that the police corruption is such a much bigger story than some stolen Lego that no one really cares about the things like he set up a raffle because he couldn't get the police to investigate the stolen Lego because they said, this is a civil matter, we don't care. So he found out that stealing from a lottery is technically a criminal offense. So he set up a lottery, and since Brian is the legal owner of the Lego, he is obviously allowed to raffle off his own items. And then when the winner of the raffle tried to claim the Lego, Bricks and Minifigs refused, and now he's saying, see, now it's criminal. And, all these like kooky antics to try and provoke and get the police to actually look into it. But, one of my favorites is he had a package delivered just to get the store owner to sign something. And it turns out what they were signing wasn't a delivery. It was a contract saying that every time she calls the police, she has to give Ben $5,000.
Wow.
And I did see a lawyer was like going through all of Ben's antics and he's saying, obviously this contract is not enforceable. She didn't know she was signing a contract. Like, obviously, you shouldn't need to be told that. But yeah, I thought that was funny.
It doesn't hurt that he looks a little bit like the actor who played Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon Dynamite, you mean?
Dynamite, yeah.
Yes, he does. He does look a lot like that guy.
I keep hoping he'll do the dance.
Yeah, I don't know the name of the actor who plays Napoleon Dynamite, but yes, he does look like Reckless Ben. It's pretty funny. And
yeah, vote for Pedro. That's what I've been seeing in the chats every time that story comes up. But I hope his stuff goes okay, because it's messed up.
Oh, and he wanted Bricks and Minifigs to sue him, so he set up a company called We Steal from Old People, but the tagline was Bricks and Minifigs, and so he put the tagline in the exact same font and like display as Bricks and Minifigs uses for their own store. So he's trying to get them to sue for like trading under their name. And that didn't work. They didn't actually sue him, but I think it's funny that he's now got a company called We Steal From Old People. And you can actually go to westealfromoldpeople.com and buy a T-shirt. They're way too expensive for the likes of me in Australia, but if you would like to support, Reckless Ben, then yeah, go to westealfromoldpeople.com and you can get yourself a shirt. And he's got an FAQ and he's like, "Do you really steal from old people?" Yes. And it's like, I'm not old. Will you steal from me? No.
So what else is going on in the news that I don't know about?
Cenk and Hassan both got banned from England. I don't know the detail. I don't know the full details. That's why it's not one of the topics in the title. But they had their visa revoked. I don't know if they're like banned, but their visa was revoked, so they can't travel to the United Kingdom.
Yeah, functionally they're banned. If they can't get into the country, they're
So I don't know exactly what happened there. I'm guessing it's based on public statements Hassan has made. I don't know what Cenk did to get in trouble, but Hassan's like openly advocated for terrorism on Twitch, so that would make sense that they don't want him in England. They've got enough terrorism. They don't need to import even more.
I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't a combination of a bunch of things, because Hassan leaves a snail trail everywhere because he records everything and posts it online. But between the anti-Semitism, the support for terrorism, he also passed cash in Cuba.
Yeah, he did that. He's also advocated for the murder of politicians. I think Rick Scott is the guy's name. He said if you want such and such, you would kill Rick Scott, and he's like just out there saying, like this is what you should do. It's like, look, I understand that Dan Clancy wants to suck your dick, so he's not actually going to ban you from the platform, but saying that kind of thing is actually slightly concerning. You will get in trouble from non-Twitch platforms for saying such things.
He also shocked his dog, and I know he doesn't think that's a big deal, but in some countries, torturing your dog is illegal.
Well, the thing about that is now the only thing anyone outside of his circle knows him for. Like, if you ask a random person, what do you know about Hassan Piker? If they've heard of him at all, it'll be because he shocks his dog. That's the only thing, like, the public outside of his circle knows him for. Like, if you search his name on Google, the dog shocking will be the first result.
It's really funny, Hammer. Like, he spent some nice time in China, and he's going down the street, and the Chinese are like, "Oh, it's Dog Shocker."
Yes. And he was really annoyed too, because one of the people who recognized him was an AsmonGold fan.
Yeah, even in China, they're like, "We get you want to train your dog, but you don't need to torture them first."
Yes.
I mean, maybe if you're going to eat them afterwards, but.
And the Cuba thing, he actually got into a bit of trouble for, because apparently he was giving money to government officials or receiving money. Like, I don't know the details. That's why I don't put these. Didn't put it in the stream title, but yeah, he was getting a subpoena from.
He basically came with a big baggie of cash that he then handed to some random guy that he barely knew offline.
Yeah. And because Cuba is like an official enemy state of the United States, that was seen as, was it sedition?
Mm-hmm.
I also wouldn't be surprised if they don't really like them either, and I'm saying them because it wasn't just Hassan who went on that tour.
Yeah.
Like, real communists don't like their types because they make everyone look bad or stupid because they're stupid. Like, the Chinese don't really like them either. The Russians probably use them as a tool at best because
Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not 100% on the details of the whole Hassan thing. I just kind of saw it in passing. But yeah, there's obviously been a lot of things going on with that guy. He's like a disaster magnet.
For other random things to do with that neck of the woods, and I still don't know if it's true or not. I still put a question mark on anything to do with that story. But Castro's daughter came out like a week or two ago and said that no, Trudeau is actually her sibling.
Oh, okay. I do like that. Justin Trudeau looks identical to Fidel Castro, and they're still trying to pretend that Fidel's not his father.
It's because the lawsuit and the outrage would be immense because he's been living off of tax dollars as the prime minister's son.
Yeah, I know. I get why he has to deny it. I'm just saying it's funny that like you look at the two people side by side. It's like you have to be blind not to think that they're father and son. They're identical.
Not when you put him next to Pierre. Not when you put him next to Pierre. It's just Pierre had a very particular look to him because he was a Frenchman.
Well, yeah, like that's the thing is like if you put a picture of Pierre Trudeau and then Justin Trudeau and then Fidel Castro, and you asked 100 people which two of these three people are family members, like 99 would guess that Fidel and Justin were the family members. It's like that blatant.
For the record, I do think Pierre was a piece of shit too, but it does explain why he was beating on his wife back in the day. Because that's why people had this. Like, at first, he was kind of like a big hero for Quebec. Like, whether he was a good prime minister for us, he wasn't. Like, Alberta has a reason to hate him. But he went downhill with them because, you know, he had so many cases where he was fighting and beating up his wife. And now I'm kind of like, well, was he doing it because she slept around? Because I think he knew.
Yeah. From what I've heard, Justin Trudeau's mother was quite intimately friendly with Fidel Castro, even if they want to deny that he's the father. I believe it's documented that they were like close friends with each other.
Yeah, it's just kind of how it is with DNA. It just kind of tells you things.
Yeah.
There's no argument with DNA. If they can get some kind of way of swabbing his mouth or pulling a hair and getting a follicle or something.
I don't know. Sometimes you don't even need the DNA test. Sometimes you can just eyeball it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in this case, it seems pretty obvious.
Yeah. It's like my brother. I guarantee you there is no need for a paternity test. He is that kid's father. I promise you. It looks just like him.
When I was younger, I didn't look anything like my dad. But now that I'm in my 60s, boy, are we close.
Yeah. I think what it might be is that you kind of knew your father as an older person. So, like when you were young, you probably didn't see the similarities. But now that you know what your father looked like at an older age and you've reached a similar age, you can make those comparisons. Because, like, that's basically what happened to me. Is like, as I've gotten to the same age that my dad was when I was young, now I can see the similarity between me and him. Whereas, like, a little kid, I didn't see it at all.
Look at family pictures and stuff like that. I was growing up. I really didn't look like him very much. But as I got older, I more and more started to look like him. And that's fine. My dad was not a bad-looking man, but it is kind of eerie now for me to look at him and say, is that him or is that me?
Well, that something similar happened with me, actually. When my dad died, I got a whole bunch of photo albums as like part of my inheritance. And I was looking through the photos. I was like, how the hell is my sister in this photo? She wasn't born yet. It's like, oh, fuck, that's my mother.
Oh, my God.
Like, that's how similar, I thought, How is there a photo of my sister, before I was born, never mind before she was born? Oh my God, that's mum.
Wow. Yeah, my brother looks nothing like my dad. Nothing.
Oh,
My dad was, Irish Welsh, and I think the only thing the two of them have in common is they're both tall, along with me,
yes.
which is surprising because my mom was all of 5 feet. So none of us got the short gene.
It's
No,
actually funny that you guys say that because and not to bring it back to Henry Nowak, but if you go back and watch some of the protesters, if you can look at them for just a few seconds, you could picture them in old armor because they look just like their ancestors would in old armor, like in current day clothing.
No, I think it kind of makes sense that even if your mother is short, if your father is tall, you will be tall because, like, height is a positive trait in men, but not in women. So I could understand if evolutionarily, height is like on the Y chromosome is like more hereditary that way because, like, I'm much taller than my mother, but I'm about the same height as my dad.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense. I think women don't want to be 5'10", but guys do want to be 6'4".
I
Yeah.
think it's also better for carrying. I know I don't have any science behind that, but like if you think about bearing
I
more than one child, because the UK actually has a lot of twins. You know, I'm not saying they have more than anybody else. It's just they do have a record of quite a number of twins. So if you think of like short and kind of stocky, you might be able to carry twins better.
I think you want wide hips for that. I don't know if you need. I don't know about height, but you definitely want because there's a reason they're called birthing hips. Is you definitely want wide hips from an evolutionary perspective.
I mean, I don't mean too short either. I mean, because you're still
No.
women carrying stuff like
Yeah.
clothing and bedding isn't light either.
I think the average height of a woman is like 5'4" to 5'6", somewhere in that range, and that's kind of the height that most people want their women to be. I've heard, obviously, I don't have direct experience, but I've heard that women who are tall have a much harder time dating than women who are, more average sized. So like 5'4", maybe like 5'2" to 5'6".
I don't know if that's something with the ladies themselves, because sometimes you get the odd couple where it doesn't matter. Like they just like, okay, well, she just has,
Well,
she's just tall. But
Yeah.
I think some women, even if they're tall themselves, still hold like this idea that they need someone taller than themselves.
Yeah, of course they do. Almost all women feel that way.
I don't understand that one. I've never necessarily, but my dad's not like the tallest dude, so maybe I have a little bit of influence from because you do look
Yeah.
up at your dad.
Of
And
course, yeah.
I just look him square in the eyes now. But
I think because they're your first, like the first people that you ever meet, I do think there is a lot of influence on who you are attracted to is going to be similar to your opposite sex parent. So I'm going to be attracted to shorter women because my mum's like short. But someone who has a tall mother might be more interested in the like taller women. And like my mum's not overly fat, but if your mother is fat, maybe you will develop a taste for the BBWs, big beautiful women of the world.
Oh, my dad was 6'1", my brother is 6 even, and I'm 6'3". My mom is 5 foot flat.
There you go.
So, yeah, it kind of carries on. But my brother has my mom's skin. My mom's Polish, so her skin's a little darker.
Okay.
My dad's phosphorescent white like I am.
Yeah.
Those Irish Welsh, you really, it's going to be pretty, the color of paper kind of deal.
Yeah.
So I inherited most of his genes, and my brother inherited most of hers, except for the height. But like you said, that's carried in the Y chromosome, so you get that
Yeah.
from my dad.
Because it would make. I mean, I'm speculating, but it would make sense that it is because the evolutionary pressures on height are different for men and women, so it would have to be on the Y chromosome for that to work.
I also think to a weird degree it might also be what you're into. You know, because if I think of like range in where a height would matter for a guy, I can think that being a little bit shorter in height would be better for a guy who does mining. Does that mean that they're less strong? No, that usually means they're a little bit short and stocky. But like if you can fit through smaller holes or smaller spaces in a mine, that makes more sense to me than like a big bulky guy. And they're still carrying heavy things, so it's not like they're less strong because of it. But if you're a big guy who's out on a farm, having that height is kind of good to have because it allows you to see more of your field.
Yeah, and like Thierry in chat is saying that it's not always true. Is that, well, of course it's not always true. I mean, nothing is true across the entire population. You may indeed be an exception, but the general trend is that you tend to find attractive similar traits that your opposite sex parent possesses.
It's also food. Like if you know that we go in and out of range where, yeah, we weren't always eating well. You know, we're not eating well right now. So like a lack of like good vitamins means like, yeah, you might have some kids that are short.
Yeah.
At least we don't have bow truckle kids anymore.
Yeah, no, that is a big part of why current generations are a lot taller than previous ones. Is nutrition has improved so much.
Not saying that they don't exist. We just don't have that as like a, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at Cro-Magnon man and Neanderthals, they're significantly shorter than us.
Yes, they are.
So, kind of makes me wonder why aliens are always portrayed as childlike and short. Because if they're more advanced than us, they should be bigger.
You would think.
They should be giants.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Maybe it's just an aesthetic thing that they like the way it looks. I don't know, but yeah, you are right that it is a bit strange. Oh, and just because it's in the title and we didn't really talk about it, is AsmonGold gay?
I don't think he's gay.
No, he's not. So the whole thing about that is he made a tweet saying that men are more attractive than women because women need makeup and men don't. And clearly this was a joke. It's in the same vein as why do women wear makeup and perfume? Because they're ugly and they stink. So no, he's not gay. He was joking, but the internet kind of took that and ran with it, and everyone is convinced that AsmonGold is secretly gay.
He's far too slovenly to be gay.
Never mind that, he's dated like OnlyFans girls, like publicly. It's like obviously he's into big tits. You just look at who he's dated in the past.
Basically, the last time he talked about it, the only reason he's kind of sworn off girls is because he doesn't think the women could handle his problems.
Yeah, no, and that's fair enough.
It's like,
if you date AsmonGold, you're going to be a public figure, and a lot of women would not be comfortable with that. You're going to get a lot of angry hate from people who hate AsmonGold, and as a result, also hate you for no reason other than you're associated with him. Yeah, there's a lot of downsides to being AsmonGold's girlfriend, and I think he's just trying to protect them from a situation they may not fully understand what they're getting into.
He also doesn't want to end up like Hassan, where like a lot of his fans, at least the female ones, do come across as like gold diggers.
Yeah.
Like I'm into you because of your money. And I'm not saying that like I'm not slandering his looks. I know that enough plastic surgery can make some people look a little bit better. But the dude is so vile as a human being that most rational women don't want anything to do with that. But you know who would? Somebody who likes money.
Yeah. I think Kirsha, who's like openly expressed having a crush on AsmonGold, I think she cops enough hate for her own reasons that she could probably survive. I mean, I don't know if she's actually interested in AsmonGold or if it's just something she says on stream, but I think she could probably handle the hate that comes with being associated with AsmonGold. But most normal women would not want to have anything to do with that.
Well, I think I'm too old for Asmon personally, but I just I think for that guy, it's more that he has had people take advantage of him.
Yeah, of course.
He's had a full frontal attack on his family for no fucking reason, just simply because he doesn't agree with us on.
Yeah, exactly.
and so, like, I could understand. I honestly wouldn't. I feel for moms with sons, because I couldn't imagine how to be helpful in this day and age, because like it's bad enough if you're a man, bad enough if you're a dad with the son, but like when you're a woman and you're seeing this shit, like I don't like I do follow a couple of women who try to go after some of these lefties, but they're so nasty, it's hard to keep up.
Yeah.
You know, so I couldn't imagine having a son and just being like, how do I brace my kid for this fucked up bullshit that they don't deserve?
It's a very, very hostile world that young boys are going to be entering into. And because he tagged me, I think Tier really, really wants Hammer to see this. He says, speaking about aliens, he says, they have advanced technology. They don't need to be bigger when you have a gun that can destroy a small moon. I think the point was not that. It was just if they're more advanced than us, they have access to better food, and better nutrition is what led to us growing taller as a species. So.
Yeah, well, as we've been part of civilization, our bodies have done nothing but get bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless of how much technology, we have more technology now than we've ever had, yet we're also bigger than we ever were.
Yes.
So there's an argument to be made there. Tier could be right.
No, I don't. I think technology is not a factor at all. Really, I think it's basically we're taller because we have better food. And I mean, as technology has helped us in that we have better farming techniques than we did 1,000 years ago. But I don't think having a laser that can destroy a moon would necessarily alter the biometrics of the species.
No, but I'd love to have one.
Oh yeah. But don't let Scribe hear you say that. He wants to put a base on the moon. That's very important to him.
I would never attack our moon, because that would just cause Earth all kinds of problems. But, you know, Jupiter's in the way.
It is. It has been for a long time. And it's got a lot of moons for us to destroy.
You know that Saturn has more moons than Jupiter does?
That sounds about right. I didn't know for sure, but I've heard that.
I guess because Saturn is so well known for its rings, people don't look at the number of moons it has. But yeah, it's like significantly more, like twice as much. Crazy.
There you go. That's cool. Because I think Jupiter is known for its moons, whereas Saturn is known for its rings. But yeah, I have heard that Saturn actually has more. So that does sound right.
Six is like he wants a laser that can fry him up some catfish.
Yeah,
I don't trust the overlords currently who are in charge of the laser, because they keep burning down forests in Hawaii. Why Hawaii? I know why, but I didn't want to.
I would never attack Jupiter dead on, because you're right. It is the sweeper that keeps everything off of us. But a couple of moons can go. Ganymede. I don't really like that.
My counter argument would be that girls go to Mars to get more bras and boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. We don't want the boys getting stupider, so we need to destroy Jupiter. That's just straight logic.
Well, are there any minerals or resources there that can be?
It's a gas giant. I don't know what you can get out of it. It's just gas.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything valuable there. And I mean, even if there is, it's in Jupiter. Like, we can't even get to Mars yet. We're not getting any resources from Jupiter and bringing them back safely.
If only we could siphon off the gas and just use that to fuel what we need to fuel. I'm kidding. That
And
trip
Keith
would
says
be
it
worth
rains
it.
diamonds on Jupiter. I mean, even if that's true, like I said, you're not going to be able to get them from Jupiter to Earth at all. That's just not possible. So,
Not unless technology comes around and
Even with
you
my
develop
joke,
something.
they would be using the gas they siphoned off just to get back home.
yeah, I think maybe in the distant future, technology will get to the point where we can, in fact, do that, but it will not be in my lifetime or the lifetime of anyone I know. I'm pretty confident.
Yeah,
Oh, and Silver
that's true.
Ravenwing says hello to you, Hannah.
Who?
Silver Ravenwing.
Oh, yeah. No, it rains gold here. Big
I'm really
beans,
glad we can
magical
have you
fruit.
come visit us, Hammer.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I'm feeling good enough to hang out till the end. That's only about 10, 15 minutes away. So, but yeah, I got into a big conversation a couple of days ago with somebody. The topic came up of how many planets there are.
That depends. Do you mean in our solar system or in total? Because in total, it's like infinite.
Yeah. No, I mean inside our solar system.
I think it's officially 8 because Pluto got demoted.
Well, Pluto got demoted, but got demoted to what?
A dwarf planet. So
Right. Still a planet, just a dwarf planet. That was my argument.
okay, I see what you get. Yeah, I think they're like scientifically considered different things, but I mean,
Well, the difference
it's not.
what makes a celestial body a dwarf planet is if it hasn't cleared its orbit from anything that it could run into, because the asteroid belt is so close. I think it's the asteroid belt. It's so close that from time to time, Pluto runs into things that shouldn't be there. Like when we circle the sun, we don't run into huge asteroids every
we don't.
year, but Pluto does, and that's the reason why it's still considered a dwarf planet. Once it clears its path, they'll have to reevaluate. Just because it's small doesn't mean it can't be a planet. There's also this thing about whether it's round or not.
I don't think it really matters, but I mean, I would imagine that.
I mean, the definition says you have to be spherical.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, the Earth isn't really entirely round either.
No, we're what's it called? A spheroids. Yeah, something
Something like an oblate or something.
Yeah, oblate spheroid. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's only because of the amount of water. Our equator bulges because of our spin with water.
Yeah.
If you take away the water, we're circular.
Well, I think if the planet stopped moving as well, it would then be spherical. It's just that because it's in motion and the forces of gravity kind of squish the top and the bottom together, make it less spherical.
Yeah. How did we get on this topic? I did this.
No, I don't know. But it is 12 o'clock my time, so that is the end of the stream. Thank you, Jen, for keeping me company. Thank you very much to Hannah for being able to make it here.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
And,
we missed you.
Thank you to chat for watching.
I missed you guys too. Yeah.
And for more Hammer goodness, if I say this, he'll be forced to come back next week.
It won't be next week. I can guarantee that.
Okay.
Oh,
But a couple of weeks, two, 3, something like that, maybe. We'll see.
well,
I can't guarantee.
I'll have to
No.
save my better Odyssey memes for you then.
Okay. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but yes, as soon as you're able to return, please do so. Everyone here is very happy to have you as part of the stream. So
It's good to see everybody in chat. I miss you guys.
yeah, and on that note, I will end the stream. See you next week, guys.
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, guys.